really is up to adults to monitor their children's viewing habits. The show I'm making, The Following, is not for children. Children should not be watching it. The parent should turn the TV off or turn the channel to something a little less violent. I don't have an answer. It's a complicated issue. It's hard to, discuss in sort of this scenario. It's you're just gonna get a soundbite out of me, and then someone's gonna twist it and turn it and make it sound awful. So.
But what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that question about the responsibility?
Well, I've been appalled by the violence on the newsroom this past season. It's really shocking.
People slamming into glass. I think that obviously with the only thing anybody has to fear if you watch too much of the newsroom or really anything I write is you're going to start singing Gilbert and Sullivan. That's your kids are going to be influenced that way. But don't you guys think that we also created the mythology that so many people, and I don't want to make this a political discussion, but so many people, particularly on the right, want to restore America to this thing that it never was. We just pretended that it was. Whether it was that World War II was a very glamorous war, or that African Americans are docile, subservient people who occasionally impart wisdom, or that father knows best, that kind of thing. Didn't we create that myth also, as well as glamorizing violence?
Well, sure, I think that's one way. that's one really great point, thank you. And I will latch onto that forever and ever from this moment forward.
I question a little bit how much watching violence makes people violent who are not naturally violent. During the Crusades, the only entertainment people had were plays and stained glass windows, and there's horrific atrocities being committed.
I mean, I find this sort of double standards kind of laughable. Like, people had no problem saying House of Cards with some of the ways people behaved or ended up emotionally or physically violent with one another. But we kill a dog in the first 30 seconds and people freaked out about that. Like you kill an animal, you can kill as many human beings as you want in 30 seconds and no one gives a crap. But you kill an animal and you don't even show it on screen and people flip out.
We didn't actually kill a horse.
Yeah, right. But
no horse is harmed.
I will say that it is a little different now because the technology has increased to the point that I think that I'm always shocked by it. I think there's the audience has an appetite for viscera that I don't remember. The technology is so advanced in terms of showing the internal organs and the splatter and all these other things, and it can be a really jarring experience if you're not prepared for it. But
where does that appetite come from? Where does that appetite come from?
I think that they're powerless and they want revenge, and everything that runs on revenge right now is very exciting to audiences. I think it's the most surefire commercial arena that there is somebody getting physical revenge on somebody bad.
And that's a big part of Homeland.
Right. Well, I would say that there is a line, though, don't you guys think? That there is a line at which things start to feel gratuitous, and I think all of us, it's incumbent upon all of us.
I think there's a line at which, especially with the gore, there's a line beyond which it starts to work against itself and become comedic and look like the Evil Dead 2, and it looks, it becomes splatterfest, and it actually becomes.
I cut things all the time because they're just too bloody, and it just looks fake, and it just doesn't feel right to the story. It takes away.
I think that violence in the real world, as people have pointed out here, is awful to witness and difficult to witness, and I think that it's the sanitized versions of violence on television in a way are worse because they're letting kids watch. I mean, on network television, people will die in droves all the time. They just die in a way that is clean and easy to watch, and it makes it fun.
That's
and
right.
It's more like a video game, like the old video games that were, where you didn't even see anything.
There's something unreal about it, ultimately. I mean, you want to suspend your disbelief and you want to become involved in the show and the characters, but ultimately, what's happening on the screen to you, there's a veil between your experience of it and reality. That's why I think reality shows now are so popular. Is people actually think that they're watching something that's really happening. And there's something visceral and immediate about that we can't really get close to.